Hi guys, hey, coming back to you. I have another video I just wanted to discuss. Kind of what brings me to this is I have a couple interns following me around in my hospital that I work at, and I get asked just tons of questions, and it's just strange because I'm really new to this field. I'm new to being a therapist, to being a social worker, especially new to working in a psych hospital. Is this? Do you like your job? Do you like this? Could you do this for a long time? They tell me things about themselves, asking me, is this the right move for me? Some of them have had previous experience, maybe as an undergrad or with a bachelor level case manager type work. But I also get emails from friends of mine thinking about going into social work, or other colleagues, other people in the hospital who might be wanting to transfer over into the social service side of things. For every person, it really depends on you, as frustrating of an answer as that is. You can either talk to people and work with people, and you can either communicate or you can't. I think it sounds kind of harsh, but if you don't have the ability to communicate well and effectively with people before going into social work, I think you're going to struggle maybe in a lot of roles as a social worker going forward. Not to say you can be of use in some other field. You might be going into research. You will pick up a lot of skills along the way through your education and through practice. But fundamentally, are you good at communicating with people? Evaluate yourself. Be honest with yourself. Don't put yourself down. A lot of people don't give themselves enough credit for the amount of communication, just natural, personable skills they already possess. So a few other things, it starts off with education. How long do you want to go to school for just a bachelor in social work? That's going to run you about 4 years. For a master's, sometimes you tack on 1.5 years, 2 years. I did mine through a local university. Just immediately after I finished my bachelor's, just went right into an advanced standing program. Took me 1.5 years to get my master's. And obviously the financial side of that. Thinking about, how much student loan do you want to incur on this? Which type of agency do you want to work for? Do you want to work for something that's maybe in a rural community where you can get your student loans possibly forgiven? Do you want to work in the public sector where you can make on-time payments 10 years, get it forgiven? Or work in the private sector? That's one of the big gambles I took, because I didn't really know where I wanted to go to start out at. So I'm working for a private hospital, so there's no student loan forgiveness with that. So it kind of puts you in a tough spot if you're going to do that. And obviously just the length of time, start to finish, you'd have to put in to do this. Social work is one of those fields where you have to do a lot of education, a lot of training, the ongoing CEUs, the continuing education credits to maintain your license renewals. There's a lot of just to do to get to this point, and it's not something I don't think is going to immediately pay dividends right out of the gate, depending on your job setup. So that's definitely one of the factors. The next one, type of field you want to work in. Do you want to work in a school? Do you want to work in a hospital? Do you want to work in, with the government? Maybe doing child protection. Do you want to try to do private practice? A lot of these things are going to influence whether social work is a good fit for you. You might do really well in just one-on-one therapy, managing your own clients, but it would be a complete disaster if you were to do child protection. So, and as you kind of develop, as you do your internship, and just even your past, even the field you worked in before. I know I worked with a lot of teenagers. I did a lot of summer camps. I worked at after-school community center programs. I did a lot of coaching. So, just adolescence was a natural fit for me. I did my internship the whole time. Through juvenile corrections. I did a lot of kind of interning under another clinician there, so I kind of knew that's where I wanted to fit. I could not stand to do child protection. I could not stand to work with the aged population. Not that I have anything against different populations, just that's not my fit. I prefer to work kind of in this. Every social worker kind of has a home. Yeah, you might be able to. For instance, I work on a lot of different units. I cover with a lot of different populations, but my home is with the teenagers. So finding out what type of population you want to work with, and what field you want to work in. Research the heck out of it. Know that coming into everything. Know about the agency. Know about these things heading into it, to give yourself the most information possible going into it. That'll help you. You know, if you're a social worker and you're in a wrong fit, it's going to be a disaster. Okay, moving on. Also, you know, there are a lot of benefits that come with this field, outside of just, you know, feeling like you're doing something, you're contributing something to the greater good, you're helping people. That's very rewarding. It's very kind of what keeps you going. The next thing coming through the door, seeing what that is, helping solve problems, helping clients and patients solve problems, or, you know, give them the tools to solve their own problems. It's really rewarding. But outside of that, you know, you have to be kind of selfish. You know, you can get good paying jobs as a social worker, as a therapist. You can, you know, the other thing is, in my opinion, social work, being a therapist is a really marketable degree. You know, if you just want to leave the field, if you go and crank out a few years, maybe do it for 10, 15 years, and you want to go do something else, or you want to do something else sooner than later, being able to have a degree that says, hey, I at least have a general understanding of people, and I know how to communicate at some level decently. And then obviously whatever experience you can tack onto that, support that, is all really beneficial. I mean, you could market that, the ability to communicate, especially in today's world where a lot of the industry is service, communication, working with customers, whatever. That's going to be very marketable towards the business side of things. And in my opinion, I could be wrong. You know, for me, I know I like to rotate. It's a feeling that I'm going to rotate, especially before I came into social work, and now I want to rotate jobs every 5 or so years, the most 4 to 5 years. I want to go and do different things, or maybe add on to different things. At least right now, I love my job. I love working in a psych hospital. It's interesting. It's fun. When things go bad, they go very bad. When things are exciting, you know, it's always go, 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 go. But I don't know how long I can do that. I'm sitting here a year or two, and it's definitely been times where it's pushed me to my limits. You know, I kind of want to go towards working in a school for a period of time, see how that is, possibly coach on the side. So, I mean, it depends on the person. It depends on how you want to kind of maintain and what you want to do once you get into the field. So there's a lot of factors that play into it. I think I would end on really take time, take inventory of yourself before even going into this. You know, before you know, thinking about, is social work right for you? Really take stock of where you're at. Take stock of what your strengths are. Can you communicate? Do you have the ability to work with any kind of population regardless of your opinions, beliefs? Can you work with other people? Can you set those aside and help them? Do you generally want to help others? If you're just coming into this for a job or a paycheck, it's going to be a complete disaster. If you're coming into this only being able to work with certain people if they align with your beliefs, maybe a disaster. So take stock of yourself. Really take stock. You know, ask your friends, ask others, ask your family. Just take inventory. So anyhow, if you have any questions, put it in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer. If you want help, you can, you know, detail your situation. I can maybe give some advice. That being said, I am new, so take it for what it's worth. Okay, thanks guys.